The lawyer's words echoed in my ears, a strange mix of condolence and warning. The Blackwood Manor is unique, Alara. Your great-aunt Isolde was a very private person. I clutched the old, ornate key, its cold iron a stark contrast to the warmth of the spring day. A whole manor left to me, a distant relative she'd met only once as a child. It felt less like an inheritance and more like a riddle. Driving up the winding, overgrown lane, the manor loomed out of the mist like a forgotten giant. Its windows were dark, like vacant eyes, and gnarled ivy clung to the stone walls as if trying to pull it back into the earth. The air grew heavy, thick with the scent of damp soil and something else. Something metallic and sweet, like old roses and rust. I pushed the massive oak door open. It groaned in protest, the sound swallowed by the cavernous silence within. Dust motes danced in the slivers of light piercing the grimy windows. The place was a time capsule. Furniture draped in white sheets stood like ghostly figures in the gloom. A grand staircase swept upwards into shadow. I was a skeptic, always have been. Ghosts? Just stories to scare children. This was just an old, neglected house. A bit of cleaning, some fresh paint, and it would be a new beginning. I started with the living room, pulling a sheet off a velvet armchair. A small leather-bound diary fell to the floor. It was Isolde's, Curiosity 1. I sat down, the dust puffing up around me, and opened it. The first few pages were normal notes about the garden, the weather, but then the entries changed. The house whispers tonight, one read. It doesn't like the silence, it wants a voice. I shivered, dismissing it as the ramblings of a lonely old woman. I kept reading. He's in the walls. I can hear him moving. He calls for Amelia. Who was Amelia? Who was Amelia? The name wasn't familiar. That night, I tried to sleep in one of the less dusty bedrooms, but sleep wouldn't come. A faint scratching sound started, seeming to come from inside the walls. Scratch. Pause. Scratch. It moved, circling the room. I told myself it was rats, old pipes, anything but what Isolde's diary suggested. Then a new sound joined the scratching. A whisper, faint and hoarse, like dry leaves skittering across pavement. Amelia ... double quotes, my heart hammered against my ribs. I grabbed my phone, its light a pathetic weapon against the oppressive dark. The whispering stopped. The scratching stopped. Silence, but it wasn't a peaceful silence. It was the silence of something waiting. I barely slept, and the first light of dawn felt like a rescue. I decided I needed to know more. I spent the day searching the house for any mention of Amelia. In the attic tucked away in a dusty trunk, I found it. A small, silver-framed photograph. It was a picture of a young woman with kind eyes and a gentle smile, a stark contrast to the stern portrait of Isolde downstairs. On the back, in faded ink, was written, Amelia Blackwood, 1889. May she find peace. She was another ancestor. But what happened to her? I went back to the diary. The later entries were frantic, almost illegible. He took her voice. He locked it away in the locket. He promised to keep her with him forever. He won't let me leave. He thinks I'm her. The diary didn't name him. It just called him the Collector. That night, the sounds were worse. The scratching was frantic, desperate, and the whispers were no longer just a name. Where are you, my love? Don't hide from me, Amelia. The voice was clearer now, a man's voice full of a chilling, possessive longing. It was coming from everywhere at once. I fled the bedroom, racing down the grand staircase, my only thought to get out. As I reached the bottom, I saw it. At the far end of the hall, a shadow detached itself from the deeper darkness. It wasn't just a trick of the light. It was tall, impossibly thin, a silhouette of a man in old-fashioned clothes. It didn't move towards me, but I felt its gaze, a palpable weight that pinned me in place. Frozen with terror, my eyes darted around, looking for an escape. That's when I saw it. On the mantelpiece, gleaming in the moonlight from the window, was a silver locket, the locket. He locked it away in the locket. My mind raced. Was this what he was looking for? Was this what was keeping him here? The shadow took a step, a slow, deliberate glide across the floorboards. I had to do something. Bolting towards the fireplace, I snatched the locket. It was ice cold, vibrating with a faint energy. Give her back to me, the voice hissed, no longer a whisper, but a guttural command right behind me. I didn't look back. I wrenched the locket open. It wasn't a picture inside. It was light. A soft, shimmering glow pulsed within, and a beautiful melodic humming filled the air like a captured song. The moment the light hit the room, the shadow recoiled with a shriek of rage and pain. The humming grew louder, a wave of warmth and peace that pushed back against the cloying cold of the manor. "Amelia," the voice groaned, but it was different now. Not possessive, but filled with sorrow, with loss. The shadowy form flickered, thinning like smoke in the wind. The scratching in the walls stopped. The suffocating pressure in the air vanished. As the humming faded, so did the shadow, dissolving completely into the morning light that was now streaming through the windows. Silence returned to Blackwood Manor, but this time it was different. It was calm, peaceful. The house felt free. I stood there, panting, the open locket still in my hand. Inside, the light was gone, and in its place was a miniature portrait of the woman from the photograph, Amelia. She was smiling. I hadn't just inherited a house. I'd inherited a story, a duty. I had set her free. I knew then that I wouldn't be selling the manor. It wasn't just bricks and mortar anymore. It was a place of rest, a sanctuary, and I was its new keeper. Thanks so much for watching this chilling tale. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from the shadows. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Alara's story. Stay safe and see you next time.